This video answers the question, are you allowed to make a meme out of a photo? Obviously, if it's your own photo, you've taken it, you own the copyright, then yes, of course you can. If a photographer or a friend has taken the photo for you, as long as it's clear that you own the copyright in the photograph, and they've said that you can, when a photographer does it, you need to find out what the photographer's terms and conditions are. So most photographers will not allow you to create memes out of their images they take, even if the image is of you. The reason for that is because they want to make sure that however the image is used or changed, it's done appropriately. And if you make changes that are poor quality or in bad taste, their image that they took, they don't want that to be associated with them. Then what about the situation where you have an image that you found online? Well, there's two situations here. One is a free image. Never ever use free images online. They can end up costing you thousands. I'll put the link below as to why I say that. The second is the paid image. Again, depending on the source of the paid image, you could also end up in trouble. And I've got a video down below on that. So assuming that you've watched my videos and you have paid for an image, I always only use 99 Club. They are the only image source that guarantees the copyright in their images. The only image source that I found until today in September 2020. Things might change in the future. Other paid image sites, including stock image sites, they say that you can, obviously they give you a license to use the image, but they don't guarantee that they themselves have the authority to use the image. And you might think that's a bit splitting hairs. Of course, if it's on their site, they would have the license. Well, recently there was a court case in the USA that actually said the opposite. It was very strange. Getty Images was actually suing someone for using their image without a license. And it turns out that Getty Images did not have permission to use that image. And in fact, the person they tried to sue owned copyright in the license. And so it's unlikely that Getty Images is going to try and sue you for your own image, but that case just illustrates that there might be images on very well-known stock image websites that you pay for, like Shutterstock and other Getty image sites, Adobe Images, a whole lot of them. There's a risk that there may be images on there that do infringe somebody else's copyright. So what 99 Club does, so 99 Club, they say, if we've made a mistake and one of our millions of images we didn't have the proper permission to use, we will pay up to $10,000 to the copyright owner as an apology. Also, we will get our legal team to run the law case for you. So that's the best kind of guarantee I have ever seen. And that's why I like to use 99 Club. And so now assuming you've used 99 Club, you've got the guarantee, you know that this is absolutely as safe as it can be, then what happens? Are you allowed to then make a meme out of it? So, I don't know, say the image is a heart, a bunch of hearts. And are you allowed to put a message there, dear mom, happy birthday, I love you, so it becomes a meme? The answer is absolutely not. So even if you are permitted to use the image, you are not permitted to turn it into a meme. And the reason, and this would be the same no matter where you sourced your image from, any stock image site. So whether it's Shutterstock, Adobe Images, any of the image sites, they only permit you to use their images. They don't permit you to modify their images. And again, if you've got a photographer taking photos of you, that will depend on the photographer's terms and conditions. So I've worked with many photographers in the past. Some say, yes, I don't care, do whatever you want. Others say, no, if you want to make any changes, you need to ask me first and I will make the changes. So the short answer is, many times you are not permitted to turn an image into a meme. The safest time is if you've taken the image or the photograph yourself. With stock image sites where you actually pay for the image, well, no, you're not permitted to turn those into memes. And if it's done by a photographer, it depends on the photographer's terms and conditions. My name is Cathryn Warburton. I am the Legal Lioness.